with the learning journal, chart the progression. You can see what we've learned, you can see the topics we've covered, you can see the trips we've been on, you can put photos in, and you start to track it then.
So when you're assessing the children at the end of the half term, this is all evidence there. You can flip back, yeah, they could do that, this was happening, that was happening. So it really helps you when you're assessing them.
Lots of examples of different prayers and things from year one. And you can see the progression as well throughout the year, from the start of the year up to the end of the year, which I think is really nice, whereas you don't necessarily flick through every child's book, but you can see real progression, and it's a real time saver, to be honest.
But you chart a whole class's journey and learning through the learning journal. So rather than looking at different individuals' work, you could theoretically have one lesson and you can clearly see what ability child did which type of work for that session. But it's all there in the learning journal, sparing you the trawl through the exercise books.
If you're wanting to dig a bit deeper, you can pull the children out and say to them, explain to me, what were you doing here? What did you learn there? How did you find that out? So it's a really good prop for when you're doing pupil interviews.
So if parents evenings, Ofsted, your line manager come along and say, right, I haven't seen you for 2 weeks, please tell me you've been doing something. It's all there documented.
Because otherwise you pick up a maths book and there's very, very little in there. You think, oh, what are they doing? What are they actually doing the whole time? So this was a good way of showing that evidence of the children's learning. For reception, year 1 and year 2, lots of maths we want to do practically because they need it. They need those concrete examples. They need to physically do things and not just sit and write number sentences in their maths book.
We got them to make PowerPoints on why we do different things in church, but then you save them on the computer. Yep, they're all saved virtually, but as an RE coordinator, I don't, unless I go back through everyone's planning, I don't know that they're there saved on the system, whereas if you print one off and put it in the learning journal, I'm like, oh, that was a nice activity, they got to use laptops that day too. Yeah. It just saves time in your monitoring without having to trawl through planning and books. You can just look at a book and a learning journal and you don't have to even look at the computer really.
If people are trying to do a monitoring of the lessons and you've got their planning and you think they've said they've done this in their mental maths and that in the mental, and you think, well, there's no evidence of any of that actually happening other than talking to the children and know that their mental maths is improving, that this was a good way to show the sorts of things that we are doing with them. It's now that ingrained in school. Yeah. It is just part of what you do for your recording your evidence, for your monitoring and for your assessment.